Let's say we had the problem 326 times 45. Let's try to do that in our head. 326 times 45. Just give me a minute to think about it. All right, I think that's it. I think that's it. I think that's my answer, but let me think about it a little bit more. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the delay. I'm going to go with that. I'm a little bit concerned about it, but I'm going to go with that. Let's see if my phone... Uh-oh. There we go. Let's give it a try. Let us give it a try. 326 times 45. I got it. 14,670. All right. 14,670. We got it. All right. Let's try another one. Sorry that it took me some time, but you have to admit, multiplying 326 times 45 is not the easiest thing to do in your head. So I'm sorry. With more practice, we'll do this even quicker. Let's try another one. Let's try another one. All right, so how about 425 times 34. Let's try that. Now I'm trying smaller numbers intentionally. All right, let's try another one. Give me 1 second. Let's try that. Let's try it. 425 times 34. We got it again. We got it again. 14,450. Amen. Amen. All right, so it took me a little time. It took me a little time, but the more we practice what I want to show you for the rest of the show, the more we practice this technique of multiplying numbers mentally, the quicker it, the less time it will take. Hopefully you can see that it took me less time to do this one than it did this one. Well, the same steps that I use for this, I use for that. It's just that I had a little bit more time to practice. So let's show you what's going on in my head to do these problems mentally. All right. All right. So what we're doing is in my head, I've got four numbers. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make up the numbers and we'll make the connection to these problems a little bit later. In fact, I'll cover them up for now. All right. I'll cover them up for now. There's no connection between what we do now and these problems here. In my head are four numbers. Let's just make some up. 23, 32, 14, and 12. I'm just making up 4 random numbers. What I'm doing in my head is I'm adding the 3 to the 23. Actually, I'm adding these numbers, I'm adding these numbers, I'm adding these numbers. All right, so I'm adding the 3 to the 3, the 2 to the 1, the 4 to the 1. I'm bringing down the outer 2 numbers. So I bring down the 2, I get 6, 3, 5, and drop the 2 down. And then that would be the answer that I would write down. Let's just go through that process a couple times, and then we'll make it the connection to these problems a little bit later. All right, so let's make up some more numbers. Let's say we got 52. Let's say we've got 4, 21, and 36. These 4 numbers are a little bit different than these 4 numbers, primarily because of the fact this is a single digit. If you ever end up with a single digit, just put a 0 in front, making it a 2-digit number. And then you just do the same thing that I did before. You bring the 5 down, you bring the 6 down, you add these 2 numbers, these 2 numbers, those 2 numbers, and you end up with 5, 2, 6, 4, 6. And that would end up being our answer. With anything that's new, you have to practice. You just can't say, oh, that's too hard. Oh, I can't do it. That's not the way you dominate. This is not the way you dominate. It's not, when it's difficult at first, you don't just say, oh, I'll never be able to do that. You're speaking against what you can do. No, you say, oh, just give me a minute. I'll practice. I'll put forth my best effort, and eventually I'll dominate it. And that's what I want you to do with this. I don't want you to say, oh, that's too hard. No, it's not too hard. You're smart. You're not only smart, you're very smart. You got a brilliant, genius mind. So that said, let's look at this problem. Let's look at this problem and make a connection between these numbers and what we had to do to get this answer and this problem. All right, so here we go. This is what was going on in my head. And we're going to write these numbers down, but the goal is to do all of this mentally, to go from the problem to the answer, no work shown. All right, so the first number, there are 4 unique numbers for this problem. All right, so the first number is going to come from the product of these 2 numbers here. All right, so the first number is 12. When I said give me a minute, we're working on this problem right here. In fact, I'll rewrite it. So we had 300 and I'll write it 326 times 45. All right, so what I did was I multiplied these 2 numbers, and we got 12. All right. Then I took this number times this number, that product of 3 times 5, I added it to the product of 2 times 4. So that's 15 plus 8, that's 23. So I took this product, added it to that product, and I got 15 plus 8 is 23. And I had in my head 1223. I just remembered it, 1223. Then I took this product, 10, plus that product, 24. 24 plus 10, that's 34. So in my head I had 12, 23, 34. 12, 23, 34. All right? And then the last number is 30. That comes from this product right here. So I committed those numbers to memory in my head. I brought the 1 down in my head, the 4, the 6, the 7, and the 0, and I got 14,670. I brought this 1 down, I brought that 0 down, and I got 4, 6, 7, 4, 6, 7, and that is your final answer. all of that can be done in your head. Just to share what I do, to be honest with you, I save that last number. I don't even think about it until the end. So I say 12, 23, 34. This is what I actually do in my head. 12, 23, 34. 12, 23, 34. You can, if I'm hoping, if I cover this up in your head, you can say 12, 23, 34. Your mind is powerful. You can do it. Oh boy, I'm really trying. 12, 23, 34. 12, 23, 34. Well, that 12 is going to change because of the 23. So you get 1, 4, but that was a 23. So that last number is going to be a 3, but that's going to change because of the 34. That 3 is going to change because of the 34. So that's going to be a 6, 4. That's going to be a 6, 4. But that 4 is going to change based on that last number, which is a 30. So this is going to change from a 4 to a 7. And because it was 30, that last number is going to be 0. 14,670. What I'm trying to do is do the best I can to share with you how you can do all of this in your head. You can do all this mental math in your head. And the more you practice, the quicker you will become at doing this. Imagine for a moment if we teach this to our children right now. Imagine for a moment if we teach this to our 6th grader, 7th grader, 8th grader. We don't tell them that we're just learning it ourselves, but imagine what calculations our children will be able to do that we were unable to do. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. And then what we're doing is continuing to teach the traditional math classes like algebra, geometry, algebra 2, trigonometry, calculus. We're not neglecting teaching those things, but just giving our children tools to distinguish them, to make them better than anybody else is what Providence St. Mel is all about. All right, so let's look at the other problem that we did in our head. The other problem that we did in our head, we did it right here. I'm just going to, because I'm running short on space, let's look at a new page where we did 425 times 34. 425 times 34. All right, so we did this problem in our head. All right, so I'd love for you to call. The first number is 12. All right, so 12. I'm sharing with you what is happening in my mind so that we can do this in our head. So the first number is 12. I have to remember the number 12. Excuse me. I have to remember the number 12, and while I remember the number 12, I have to do more work. So the first number is 12. Then I have to multiply 16 plus 6. 16, 4 times 4 is 16, plus 6 is 22. I have to remember the number 12, 22. 12, 22. I have to remember the number 12 and 22, and then I have to continue to do more work. Your mind is powerful. You can do that. So I got the number 12, 22, and then I have to do another calculation. So then I have 8 plus 15. 8 plus 15, that's 23. 8 plus 15 is 23. So I got 12, 22, 23. 12, 22, 23. And while I remember that, I do the steps that I showed you before. So we got 12, 22, 23. So that 12 is going to change from a 1, 2 to a 1, 4. So I got 1, 4, 2. 1, 4, 2. But then that next number was a 23. So that 2 is going to change to a 4, 3. But that 3 is going to change based on this 20. So that 3 is going to become a 5. Add 2 to, you get 5, and then that last number is a 0. So we get 14,450. And that is the final answer, 14,450. All right? But it's all done in your head. It's called mental math, doing it all in your head. We have on Students Dominate Math, my Facebook page, we have a video posted where we do mental math multiplication 2-digit by 2-digit. And you can look at that. We also have on Dominate Math, my YouTube channel, Dominate Math, we have videos where, again, we do 2-digit numbers by 2-digit numbers multiplying mental math. Let's do one more problem, show you how this is relevant. Let's show you how this is relevant to maybe a real life situation that you might be presented with. Let's say you have a $352 television set, and let's say you get a great deal. Let's say it's 75% off, scratch and dent sale, something like that. Well, if it's 75% off, that means that you have to pay 25%. All right, so you have a $352 television set that is 75% off, meaning that you have to pay 25%. Let's say you want to perform that quick calculation in your head. Well, let's try to do it. All right, so we got 6. We have 15 plus 10, 625. 625, 29. 625, 29. Well, that's 8, 5, 25, 29. All right. 6, 25. That'd be 7, 9. And then that's going to be 8, 0. Oh boy, I lost my focus. I'll be honest with you, everybody. I lost my focus. Forgive me. Let me try it again. I'm very sorry. So I think I said 6, 25. I think I said 29. 6, 25, 29. All right, so I get 8, 5. All right, and that'd be a 7, 9. But that last number would be 10. That last number would be 10, so I end up with 8, 0, 0. All right, so I think that'd be 8, 8, 0, 0. I believe that's correct. And then you'd move the decimal. Oh boy, something's not right. Oh Lord. Let me try it one more time, everybody. So we get 6, 15 plus 10. 15 plus 10 is 25. 6, 25, 29. Let me try it one more time. 6, 25, 8, that'd be 5, 29, that'd be 7, 9, 7, 9, and then that last number would be 10. So we get 8, 8, 0, 0. And you'd move the decimal point 2. Yeah, I had it right the first time. So the final answer would be $88. All right, $88. All right, so we only have a minute left. Let's put that in the calculator just to verify it. I had it right the first time here. Sorry, everybody. I just lost focus. All right, so what you have is you have $352. And if you multiply that by 0.25, you end up with 88. So I had it right all the time. Be confident in yourself.